everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Renee here at Simply Renee. Today I'm going to show you two recipes. One is Strawberry Popsicles from the book called For the Love of Popsicles by Sara Bond, and the other one is Lemon Granita, which is from the cookbook of a Good Housekeeping Cookbook from the year 2000. And I hope you enjoy because I had a lot of fun making these recipes, and I think it will be great to have these on a hot day just to cool you down and refresh yourself with a delicious treat. First recipe is Strawberry Popsicles, and it comes from the book For the Love of Popsicles by Sara Bond, and it's a great recipe book for all these delicious types of popsicles to make, and I highly recommend this book. To make these strawberry popsicles, you're just going to get, of course, strawberries, and what you're going to do is you're going to chop and quarter 2 cups of strawberries. They can either be fresh or frozen and thawed. You're going to get a blender, and then you're going to place the strawberries in the blender. Next, you're going to place in 1/4 cup of honey or sugar. I'm using sugar. And then you're going to add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And then you're going to blend all the ingredients together until smooth. And then you're going to get a popsicle mold so you can pour the liquid in the molds. Now, one thing about popsicle molds is that you can use different kinds. I found this one here on Amazon and it worked pretty well. It's a nice silicone type popsicle mold that works pretty well and is great for the popsicles. And now I'm just going to pour the liquid in. And this is the tricky part that I'll try to explain as best I can, but you're just going to pour the liquid into the mold enough to where you leave a little bit of room so that way you have enough space. And I'm going to show you just what it looks like here. And I hope I can show it pretty well with the angles I got, but you can see it just has a little bit of space there. You can determine it by eye if you want, but I think this works out pretty well for me. Then you're just going to place the popsicle sticks. Now this is the tricky part for me because I didn't use reusable sticks. I used wooden popsicle sticks instead. And what I did was that I placed foil over the popsicle mold and I did a little bit of a indent to know where the mold is exactly so I could by eye make sure I did a correct middle insert with a knife on the foil so I could stick the popsicle stick in correctly and worked out pretty well. And then I just freeze these, and you can freeze them up to at least 4 hours or overnight. And I only made about 4 of them because that's just what the liquid came out to. So I think if I double the recipe next time, I'd probably get more. And this is just what it looks like. And it turned out pretty well. It was a nice, delicious color, and I've made these before, so it's a beautiful ruby red, and they do taste pretty good. And the way I store them is that I just put them in parchment paper or wax paper, wrap them up that way, and place them in plastic bags and put them in the freezer so I can get them out and really enjoy. But that concludes the strawberry popsicle recipe, and I hope you will give it a try because it's really worth it to get these delicious, tasty popsicles. I absolutely love strawberries, so this is a great recipe for me. And now we're going to go on to the lemon granita. Next is the lemon granita, and this is something I really enjoyed making because I had some granita when I was in Rome, Italy a few years ago, and I really enjoyed it. So I got a little inspiration to do it for this one when I found the recipe. First, you're going to get a 2-quart saucepan and pour in 1 cup of sugar with 2 cups of water. And then you're going to turn the stove on to a medium heat and let it simmer. Once all the sugar is completely dissolved, you'll keep it on a medium heat, let it simmer for about 5 minutes. Then you're going to make an ice bath for the saucepan. And what you're going to do is you're going to get a bowl, pour in some water with some ice, and then place the saucepan over onto the ice bath water. This will cool down the syrup, and once it's cooled completely, you can continue the next processes. Now you'll need 4 large lemons for this recipe, and then you're going to get some lemon peel from it. And I used a cheese grater for this, and it worked out pretty well. And I only need to use 3 lemons for the lemon peel to make 2 teaspoons according to the recipe. And then I started to squeeze out the lemon juice from these lemons. And what I did is that I don't have a juicer, so I just put a measuring cup and I put a strainer over it to make the 3/4 cup lemon juice. And I just started to squeeze it over the strainer so this way it would catch all the seeds and that way it would just go clean through the strainer, the juice itself. And it worked out pretty well, but there are different methods to use. You can use a juicer or a lemon squeezer that you have, and you can also, of course, use your hands just to squeeze the lemon over your hands so that way you can catch the seeds in your hands. But this one worked out fine for me. Now, once your syrup is cooled, you're going to pour in the lemon juice and the lemon peel. And you're just going to stir it so it can be combined. Then you're going to get a 9-inch metal pan and pour the entire mixture in. And then you're just going to cover it and place it in the freezer. And you're only going to need to place it in the freezer for at least an hour and a half to 2 hours. I took it out an hour and a half in because my freezer works very well to keep things freezed quickly. And what you're going to do is that within that 1.5 to 2 hours, you're going to break up the ice a little bit with a fork so that way you can mix it all together, so that way you can break up any large chunks and it's not going to cause a bad consistency with everything. And you're going to be very careful with a fork because you don't want to scrape the metal too badly. Eventually, when I did break up all the ice, I used a rubber spatula just to mix everything together and get a few little small chunks that it could work. And once you're done, you're then going to cover it up and put it in the freezer for up to 3 hours or overnight. And this is what the end result looks like. And it worked out pretty well. Because of the way it was placed in the freezer, though, it did slide a little bit within it. But it worked out pretty well. It's nice and frozen. And I'm just going to thaw it for at least 15 minutes. But I actually ended up only thawing it for about 5 minutes because that worked out pretty well. And then I just started to scrape. And you're going to get a metal spoon to do this. And I do it very lightly just to make sure I'm not digging a little too deep to scrape the pan. I'm not sure if you could use an alternative, but this is what I used. You're just going to scrape it so it looks a little bit like shaved ice. Now, once you've scraped enough shaved ice, you can put them in wine goblets, chilled glass bowls, chilled cups like the little one I have here. And it looks very good. I can even probably just drink this as regular lemonade. And it works well. You can make about 4 cups of it or 8 servings. And it is tasty. It's a strong lemon flavor, which is very refreshing. It's chilled. It can cool you down nicely. And this concludes my recipes for the week, and I hope you'll give these a try. I really enjoyed making them. They were very tasty, and it was nice to make some fresh shaved lemon ice as well as some fresh strawberry popsicles with the popsicle mold. It's always such a great time, and I hope you'll give these recipes a try. Thank you again so much for tuning in. Please be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell. I'll be back next Friday with another food video, and I'm also going to be here on Sunday with a Sunday Reads video, Wednesday with a regular video, as well as some shorts in between. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time. Bye!